Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear this morning. Hope you enjoyed today's show. Got a really good one lined up. But first, our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin Road and Highway 77. All the myriad of programs they have over there, run check them out. High today, only 92. We're getting a little cool snap now. And low is 74. But water temperature stays at 85 degrees. Our river readings, we're talking about them, they're getting low now. They're getting on down there. That place go to Bluntstown at a 2.1. And it's still dropping, so it's going to get back down where it was. But the river has really been good to the fishermen lately. The Choctawhatchee at Caryville, it's reading a 2.8, and it's got a slow, steady drop to it. Tide chart, take a look at it, brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. We'll talk about it all week long. Today is August the 28th, and we're in neap tides today and tomorrow. And we got a little bit of a bump on Saturday, so not a lot of tidal flow right there. Our marine forecast now is coming out of southeast at about 5 to 10. So it can get windy at times, but really what's happening now, that Gulf moisture is coming back up. We've had this north and northeast wind, but right now we're going to start getting it back out of the Gulf, so we might be getting some rain pretty soon. Once a week, one of our sponsors, Blue Water Outriggers out of Port St. Joe, one of our just really good loyal sponsors. They like to sponsor a report from our eastern end of the viewing area, and Captain Blair Morgan, he's a consummate outdoorsman. He's down there always doing all kind of stuff, and he helps us on the report. Good morning, Blair.
Good morning, Winston.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Hey, we're going to start off now with you doing your alligator wrestling. We always talk about you doing all kind of outdoor stuff, and tell us about this gator.
Well, I watched the show a minute ago. I saw Ken Paramore on. It's kind of funny, but yeah, I went gator hunting yesterday and couldn't find nobody to go with me, so I went by myself, and I ran up on an 8-footer that I had to tussle with. I finally got him, but he was a handful by myself.
You got it by yourself, huh?
Yeah, I got it by myself. It took me a while to get him calmed down, but I finally got him.
Well, listen, I think we're going to call up old football coach and tell him you still catching gators at your age. I think he'd be tickled.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it, but it's kind of hard to do by yourself, and it's not really that safe either. So.
Yeah, you need to be real careful, Blair. Don't get knocked out of that boat.
No, I don't normally do it, but I was ready to get out of the house yesterday, Winston, go do something. It was pretty.
I understand that, buddy. Well, tell us about the fishing over there.
Fishing in St. Joe Bay has really not been very good. My neighbors, he went flounder fishing, he had full minnows and all this, never caught a flounder, and they went trout fishing and didn't do much on trout, but now over there in the Apalachicola Bay, a friend of mine that fishes over there, he charter fishes, and he's been catching a lot of white trout. The birds are diving, on the bait over there, the shrimp, little shrimp everywhere over there. Mm-hmm. And the birds will be diving on the shrimp. Of course, the trout's under the birds eating the shrimp. So he's catching a lot of those on a popping cork with a jig head, and a grub on it. Okay,
that sounds good. Does he try any? I don't guess he needs to put any kind of shrimp tip on the jig if they're just biting that fast, does he?
No, they're biting. I know one day he said he caught over 100. He had 4 or 5 people on the boat. They didn't keep that many, but they was catching about every cast over there. Yeah. But they don't get real big. They just fun to catch. Well, and there's tarpon everywhere over here, but nobody is fishing for them. I mean, I keep talking about that, but there's plenty of tarpon. They just roll around everywhere. Nobody's fishing for them. There's a few triple tails still around, but really the big thing right now is the freshwater fishing. It's excellent up here on the Apalachicola River.
Yes. Okay.
I mean, people are catching brim and shell crackers like they hadn't never caught. I mean, they're just huge.
Well, that sounds good, but I've been getting some good reports from River also. Well, good to hear that. I know we're about to wrap up. Coming into Labor Day, it's going to be a busy weekend. I know a lot of folks will be headed down that way to scallop. What's been your scallop reporting?
Scalloping has been overall slow this year. It's been spotty. There's some people that's finding some bigger ones out in the deeper holes now. The shallow water scallops have kind of been picked over.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hit and miss. Just have to go and look.
All right. All right, Blair. Thank you so much, bud. That's a good report.
All right. We'll talk to you next week.
Be careful of those gators, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I will see you. All right.
Thank you.
All right, man. Captain Blair Morgan, Blue Water Outrigger Report. Take a break. We'll be right back with our special guest. All right, welcome back. So here with Daniel Raffield.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing?
Good morning, Daniel. Always glad to have you. Bill Kramer Chevrolet was one of our great sponsors, and we always glad to have him come on. And Daniel's roots at St. Joe. Now, you were telling me you were doing the ball games down. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Jeremy Dixon called me 2 weeks ago and invited me to come on and be his color commentator for Shark football in Port St. Joe. Yeah, we've had a good time. We played one game, played Bluntstown last Friday in the Jamboree and won 20-19, and that was a hard-fought ball game on both sides. And this week we play Hitchcock Gators, which is kind of the hometown rivalry.
Well, that's a Florida State game in that area.
That's exactly right.
Auburn, Alabama.
It's going to be take off the gloves. It's going to be a fight, and we'll be on the coast 105.5, and hope everybody listens. We have a good time.
You're the color man on it, huh?
I'm the color man. Me and Jeremy Dixon. We've had a good time with it so far. Got a ways to go.
We always talk about every year about this time of year about how much fun high school football in Florida Panhandle is good. It's good stuff.
It doesn't get any better in high school, and people look forward to high school football all year long, just like they do college ball. And it's a great time of the year. People get together and have a good time.
I may not be going to quite as many this year. My niece's son has graduated from Bluntstown, so I won't go to that many games. But I'm going to spot check some of them and go to some Osler games. But it's just special, it really is. Yeah,
Bluntstown's got a good ball club this year, and they did fantastic last year. They were state runner-up in the division.
Yep. We went to that game, had a great time and all.
Yes, sir.
Well, look, what's going on over at the car lot?
At the Chevy store. At the Chevy store right now, we're offering 0% interest for 72 months on new Silverados, and the rebates have gone through the roof on these trucks. These 14 models that we're trying to get out to make room for the 15s. So you and I are always talking back and forth about what's a good time to buy a truck, and this is one of those times. It's a good time. This time now, and then the end of the year, there'll be two big pushes. But good inventory. Used car is doing great. Got good truck inventory, more so than we've probably had in the last 6 months. And always ready to make a deal. Everything's for sale, no doubt.
Yeah, y'all staying busy down there?
Staying real busy. Seeing a lot of this new stuff General Motors is pushing is coming onto the lot now, and people are fired up about it.
Yeah. Well, I know Jack likes to fish also, and I know you like to fish, but y'all hadn't had a lot of time to fish, have you?
We haven't had a whole lot of time to fish. I went fishing with Dad about probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago. We went king fishing off Cape Sandblast and just had a great time. Caught some huge kings and saw some sharks. 4 huge bull sharks. They were right under the boat. But had a great time doing that, and that's really the last time I've been fishing.
Yeah, we're going to take a break in a second. We're going to talk about these sharks and all that, and talk about the nickname of the football team down there, Sharks, and Apalachicola and the Sharks, and used to be the Carabel Panthers, and all these schools are named after the animal, the fish in their area, the predominant predator.
But you've never heard of the mullets.
No, you have not heard of mullet. Mullet's not that big of a predator. Let's take this break. We'll be right back. All right, sitting here, we're welcome back as always. Glad to have you watch the Panhandle Outdoors. We appreciate the viewership and appreciate our sponsors here. And Daniel Raffield representing Bill Kramer Chevrolet. And what other kind of models y'all have?
We've got the new Escalades hit the ground. The new 2015 Escalades got the new GMC Denali's, 2500 heavy duty Duramax. The new body style came out on that. Every make and model lineup of Chevrolet has completely been redesigned. And it's exciting, man. It's like, you hear a new fishing pole coming in at Blue Water and you want to get there and get it.
I know. Sunday afternoon, I was down here visiting my mom. I went down, on the left, I went down 23rd Street, and I was coming up a little hill what the old timers call the hill where the cemetery is and all. It's always so neat to see that big American flag flying. That really is.
That's the most important part of our dealership is that American flag, and that's our staple, of course. But it is pretty.
While you're gonna ride through the parking lot, every now and then I just like to ride through the lot and just look at the different trucks and different colors and all that. And y'all have people working there.
We do.
On Sunday afternoon.
We do. We work Sunday 1 to 5.
They came in on me.
You gotta watch
people, usually Sunday afternoon would be safe because stay away from you guys.
That's what I usually tell customers. Hey, look, I won't bite you. Today's a free day. Just to help yourself.
All right, I got a couple. Let's look at a couple of these things. I showed this other day. I'm going to show it again now. This is really cool. Innovations in life jacket design, a competition. You win $10,000, folks, if you can actually design a life jacket. Daniel, y'all need to get in, when y'all have a slow time down there at your office, y'all get together and see if y'all going to design a new life jacket.
We do that. We have time. We'll get together on that one.
Okay, now I've got a couple more pictures. Let's see. I still want to go over this picture again. I got a kick out of this. We're talking about scallops. The scallops are so bad you have them catch mullet. This is a true story. This is one of my Facebook friends sent this in. They didn't catch enough scallops, so they caught some mullet to have a seafood dinner.
That looks delicious.
But that does look good on it.
I'd rather have the mullet.
All right, off the pier. Look, they caught 2 sailfish the other day.
Wow.
The 2 hookups. That one jumped about 10 times. They released them. That was about 40-something inches right there. That one had about 10 jumps, but right off the pier. You know that was fun, catching off the pier. Okay, now, our neighbor, going to the western end of a viewing area on September the 6th. We talked about Nick's seafood place over there, right outside of Freeport at Basin Bayou. They're having a tournament for the latest fishing tournament. It's called the Nick's Chicks Showdown.
That's a good time.
And entry fee is $50 and first place and all. It's going to be, I promise you, that will be fun. If I'm in town, I'm going to try to get over there and watch it and maybe go see some of that. That's going to be good. So you ladies, now, we've always been talking about a tournament. This is the latest tournament over at Trey Nick's place. Give them a call over there. We've also talked about these big redfish, biting under the bridge and all. This is off the Tyndall Bridge. This is about a 42-inch caught and released. And this is Ryan McNeil with the Panama City Kayaks, and Ryan caught this on a unfair advantage lure. In fact, I can show you some of the lures. Okay, can y'all see? Look at that plug. There's one there. They caught 2. I think one's 48, one's 36, one was 42 or 38, somewhere around those sizes. But here's the other unfair advantage lures, and good pictures there. Okay. Now I got a couple of one more announcement too. The Biofeeder Center. We haven't mentioned them this summer. They've been pretty busy, but they're having this is also coming up on Saturday, September the 6th, from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock over here in outside of Freeport. Under the sea, they have marine touch tanks, sharks from Guffarium, sandcastles, and candy shark tooth necklaces, and all kind of stuff. So you want to check that out. You got 2 places to go over in that area. Okay, and a couple of announcements. That bow hunting field day is also on September the 6th, coming up. It's right around the corner. And we talked about the bow hunting field day, but it's coming up next Saturday. And the free hunter safety, and I don't think I've mentioned Washington County is having on Hard Labor Creek Road, Saturday, September 6th, from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock, a hunter safety course over in Washington County. So that's 2 announcements right there that's important. We've talked about that's about the 3rd or 4th county we've had in our area this time of year that's had a hunter safety course. So Washington County will be having it Saturday, September the 6th. Meanwhile, we've got Labor Day coming up. And what's your plans for Labor Day?
I'm off Monday. I'm sure I'll be in the Jeep heading over to Mom and Dad's in St. Joe and spending some time with them on the water. Hopefully that's what we're planning on doing.
You think your dad's going to catch off some mullet?
I hope so. We'll break out the cast net and do a little cast net over there across the bay in Eagle Harbor, where we've always caught some pretty mullet. Right now, it's the best time to me for mullet, the fat.
Yeah. How's your dad been doing on scalloping? I know he is really one of the original scallopists around, and if he can't find it, nobody can. But I know.
What I've heard from Dad is like Mr. Blair said, most of these scallops are in deep water if you're going to find much of them, and they're very spotty. There's hardly anything in the shallows or in the flats. And the guys that are catching them now are guys like Dad that's been doing it their whole life. They're from that area, and they know where to go after all the tourists leave. So that's what's going on. And I'm ashamed to say I haven't been the first time this year.
Well, I've been, listen, Daniel, don't feel bad. I've been the smallest number of times I've ever been, with one other exception. Gail and I were talking about the other day, one summer we got tied up, and it was a real bad year. But this summer we just haven't been much at all. And it's enjoyable when you first go, but when you're just going out there and just not seeing anything. I've had some really good friends that they're really good scallopers in their families, and they just haven't come back with a whole lot of scallops.
Well, we're on the you go through a cycle usually about every year, 2 years, where you'll have one great year, and then you'll have a year or two that's not so good, and then you'll have 2 great years, and then it goes back. So maybe now we're in our slump, and maybe next year we'll get kicked off again.
And you know as well as I do, there's a lot more pressure on them now than there has been.
You're exactly right. And, a lot of people have had the debate that maybe scallop season should be later in the year, not start so early. Yeah. And we know why everything started early. Yeah. It's for tourist dollars.
Sure.
And so maybe they can one day reevaluate that and take a look at it.
Well, what happens, and we got to understand what happens there. If you're scalloping the whole month of July, and you get 100 of those little scallops. Well, in August they're going to be twice that size, really.
That's right.
So you won't only need to get 50 of those scallops.
That's right.
And that's where the catch comes in right there. And it looks like I was hoping the FWC, some of these marine biologists, would come up with studies and show this and really present it to the public, because I know a lot of people in the public would be willing to
absolutely
back it up. A lot of us would be willing to back it up.
Absolutely, you'd be willing to back it up, but it doesn't coincide with school and when people get out and and so a scallop grows on a moon phase. So if you give a scallop a couple moon phases later in the year, then you'll see a bigger, way bigger scallop. But I've caught some scallops out in St. Joe Bay that shall be that big, and what we call them mossy backs.
Old mossy backs. Yeah, we do too. All right, let's take our final break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Glad you're with us this morning. Sitting with Daniel Raffield, and we were saying some things off air we probably can't say on air about his bosses. So anyway, let's look at our fishing game time. All right, we're looking at brought to us by Mark Cowart of Edgewater Beach Realty. His number is 832-6000. Our times 2:33 to 4:33 a.m. this afternoon, 2:55 to 4:55. Okay, 2:55 to 4:55, about 3 to 5 range. I got one quick email. This is after the show with a little cast netting, when Mason did a little cast netting. This is from Robert Scarabin. He said, "This was a really good show this morning. The highlight was Mason throwing the net. Good job, Mason." Thank you, Robert, for sending that. It's always so refreshing to get emails from you viewers and all that, know how much you enjoyed. And we talk about these are just something that's unrehearsed. I'd been at that funeral, and I drove up, and he had that old net, and so we just grabbed the camera. And this is just real people doing real things, and I think that's the appeal to our show. Yeah,
we talked about last time about crawfishing in the ditches and catching people out doing things out in our community that are fun to watch.
Yeah. So talking about them being sponsored, we're always looking for good sponsors and all. And what makes me feel so good about our sponsors is that they've been with us since we started this show, and they've stuck with us and all. And if you're looking for a good show to advertise on, I'd be glad to talk to you and come by and see you and all. I know everybody's real busy and all, but I can promise you we get good results on this.
I had a guy come to my office last week, Mr. Tillman, and I know he's watching the show. He watches every day. He's wanting to buy a Corvette.
A Corvette?
A Corvette, 2015, that's right. And he saw me here on Coach's show, and he waited for me in the lobby to get done with a customer for an hour.
Is that right?
Because he wanted to deal with me. Yeah. And so if you're watching this morning, I appreciate you. And I've got 3 of them on the lot, so come see me, Mr. Tillman.
That's a tough outdoor vehicle now. I mean, it's tough.
Corvette's a great car for dog hunting on. You can put your dog box on the back of it and just tear right through anything.
Well, you know how much I love those Chevrolet trucks. There's so much. Y'all got a good selection of those, haven't you?
We do. We've got probably about 130 brand new trucks on our lot now, and just a phenomenal vehicle. Truck's good on gas too. That's what's great about it.
Yeah, it's surprising.
It is very surprising what that truck can do on the highway.
It really is.
Yes,
and they're comfortable, and you can used to they just built for the woods and all, but you can take them on the interstate.
Anymore, pickup truck's a family vehicle. You know, there's a lot of people out there that have a Z71. They load the kids up and they'll take a trip. Great trucks. Can't beat them.
Yeah, I'm about to get in the market for one. I'm in a little period where I'm truckless and boatless. First time in my life I've been both those. And I tell you, you know, I've been used to a truck all my life, and you know, all of a sudden I don't have one, and it really, I mean, I've got a pile of stuff in my yard I need to haul off.
That's like somebody's taking away your man card.
I'm telling you, but it's on right around the corner. I'm gonna get one, but I'm waiting for a good deal.
They're always a good deal, Coach. There's no better time than the present to buy a truck.
And everybody wants to borrow it, you know, when you get it.
You know, that's, you know, a pickup truck, the best thing you can do is put a cover on it, keep people from wanting to borrow it to move a refrigerator or grass or lawnmowers.
That's the truth. That's the truth. And because it does. But I do have a little pile of wood I've been wanting to move for about 3 weeks, and I've been without a truck, so it's just still sitting there. I might have a little bonfire or something. Well, look, we got, like I say, Labor Day's coming up, and I know a lot of folks going to be on the water, want everybody to be safe and all, and your family will be down in St. Joe Bay.
Yes, sir. We'll all be anchored up in St. Joe Bay. Dad acquired a pontoon boat the other day. He's got his cast net and boat, so we'll take 2 or 3 boats to get our bunch out there and have a good fun day, hopefully.
Which way y'all gonna be going?
With the babies and probably my little girl, my sister's little boy, will probably end up over at what they call Old Town Beach, which is off Oak Grove. And some of those sand flats, a little bit shallower where those babies can swim. But if the children weren't going, we'd probably be in the head of St. Joe Bay or over Eagle Harbor.
Yeah.
Eagle Harbor is such a pretty place to get into because you can go over there and anchor up and get on the leeward side of the wind.
Yes.
And really have a good time. But you got to have somewhere for those babies to swim.
Yeah, that's right. Well, as always, y'all taking advantage of the outdoors and all that.
Yes, sir.
Starting them at a young age.
Start them at a young age is right. Caroline, she ran her first boat when she was 6 weeks old. So.
That's pretty good. Now, that's a family tradition.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. That's part of it.
Your great-granddaddy had them doing that.
Yes, sir. And that's a huge tradition, kind of like selling cars and trucks to the Kramers.
Yeah.
Ours is fishing and being on boats.
All right, well, Daniel, appreciate you coming on, buddy.
I'm glad to be here, Coach. I appreciate you.
Y'all run by and see Daniel over there at Bill Kramer. He'll set you up a good deal, I know.
Please do. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And as always, tomorrow we got a good show lined up, getting ready for our famous Friday fishing forecast. Don't forget, we're less than a month away from early duck season also. You know, that's right around the corner. And September is almost, I mean, we're right here in September, so y'all get ready for some good outdoor activities. Meanwhile, appreciate you watching Panhandle Outdoors, okay? And you have a great day today. Do something good for someone else, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.